And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Winestream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick. Tonight, we have an Italian wine. To start off the new year, to start off 2023, we're going to open an Italian wine. This is a Puglia. And I've been waiting to open this one for a while. It's been sitting in the back, waiting in the wings for us to open after the holidays. It's now after the holidays. We're going to open it tonight. Also, I have some foods to prepare it with, or to pair it with, courtesy of my lovely wife, Chi. And, the nice little thing here that got messed up a little bit. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. It was one nice little garnish that she put together, a little presentation, as she usually does. And we're going to pair the wine with this little bit of food, and we're going to see how it pairs up and see if it's any good, if it works with this food or not. We'll see. We'll also have an open chat tonight, and we have some national days to toast. Yes, we do. We have not done the national days in a few weeks. We're going back to it tonight, courtesy of Marlo Anderson over at nationaldaycalendar.com. Also, whatever you want to talk about tonight, it's whatever you want to talk about. Now, if you are joining me for the first time or the 190th time, because this is the 190th episode of the Winestream, I have my show notes. They're right here. I am prepared tonight with the show notes. They're right here. But I don't always follow them. I don't follow them much at all sometimes, because this is a stream of consciousness kind of show. We go with the flow, so to speak, because the show isn't about me. The show is somewhat about the wine. The wine is the catalyst that brings people together, that gets us all together to talk and to just have a good time together on a Saturday night. This show is really about you and me getting together, just having a great time, kicking back, relaxing with our favorite libation, no matter what it is, our favorite snacks, no matter what it is. You don't have to drink wine. You can drink beer. You can drink soda. You can drink club soda. You can drink rum. I had a little rum last night, as a matter of fact, courtesy of my son, Tom Antio. And you can drink, whatever you want and snack on whatever you want. Just get together. As long as we're all drinking together, that's the point of this show. Now, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about things that tear people apart. We talk about things that bring people together, as the wine does. So that's what we've got going on tonight. Now, if you want to watch live and you want to get into the chats live, our chats are live. I'm going to the drinkwithrick.com page. Drink with Rick is live right now on our Facebook page. It's the facebook.com/drinkwithrick. YouTube channel is at drinkwithrick, YouTube at drinkwithrick. Twitch channel is twitch.tv/drinkwithrick1, drinkwithrick and the number 1, all one word. Twitter is at drinkwithrick. Yes, we are streaming live on Twitter at drinkwithrick. And Odyssey. Odyssey is at drinkwithrick, and the number 7. At drinkwithrick, the number 7. And, of course, the podcast, if you can't watch now or watch later, you can listen to the podcast at your leisure at any time by going to Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer Radio, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, of course, and Amazon Music, and podcastindex.org. Also, if you go to drinkwithrick.com, click on the subscribe page, click on that little blue button that says by email, put your email address in the box, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. It's just for the podcast. And the podcast, by the way, I didn't mention that before. The podcast goes out at Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, okay? 10 p.m. Eastern every Monday night. Now, you can subscribe on any of these venues. You can subscribe on, YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and all that sort of thing. You can follow me on all these venues and subscribe to the podcast if you like. There's no obligation to do this. I don't really push this too much. You can do it if you like. Also, if you want to, you can support the show by going on and buying me a coffee. You can see it in the button next to the listing of all of our live streams. So you can buy me a coffee. That actually helps support the show and helps to cover the costs of the prizes that we give away on the show. Anyway, that's what we've got going on. Now, I've got the chats are open everywhere. And unfortunately, on Facebook has been just giving me fits, and it's been giving me fits again tonight. So I may not be able to see all of your comments live. It kicked me out. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into it right now, but for some reason, I can't get back into my live stream show. And actually, it's kicking me into something else that I don't even want to watch right now. But let me see if I can get to the no, I can't do it. It won't let me. It won't let me do it. So you can. Let me see. Open and watch. See if I can do it in open and watch. There we go. All right. So now I can see the. This is ridiculous. Facebook is just so. Anyway, I don't even want to go there now. We can talk about it later if you want. You can ask me about my troubles with Facebook. But let's go to Twitch. Twitch, we have folks in Twitch chat. Omar the Oak Tree is in the chat, and Omar the Oak Tree says, really excited for another Saturday night Drink with Rick session, and I'm glad you're here, by the way. Omar, thanks for being here. I really, really appreciate your being here tonight. And What's Up is in the chat also. He says, happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday right back at you. What's up? And 69 Mets fan is in the chat also. It's time to drink with Rick, he says. And Omar says, I was inspired to not drink Fireball and instead pick up a French Chardonnay, nice and dry. Well, kudos. That's good for you, Omar. If it's a new tasting experience for you, I think you'll enjoy it. If you like a good kind of a buttery wine, that's what Chardonnay is. It's there are kind of different levels of it, and but it's the Chardonnay wines are actually very, very good. I think you'll enjoy the French wines in particular. Some of them are very, very nice. Chardonnays, we've had a few on the show in the past, and some of the wines have been really great. Been really impressed with some of them. And I'm not really a white wine person per se, so to say that I like the Chardonnays is it's really saying something to me. Trent is in the chat on YouTube. Trent says hi, Trent Briggs, and Trent, hi right back at you, and it's great to see you here. And also Justice Violet is in the chat. Justice says, I just got here. Did I miss anything? No, you have not. This is just kind of the setup, the opening part, the setup, and we're going to get into the festivities right now, as a matter of fact. I did give you the itinerary, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did. We're going to introduce the wine. We're going to open, pour, taste, and review it. I'm reading from the show notes. We're going to pair it with the foods. And we're going to give a little recap of last week's drinking game, which everyone had a great time. And we're going to toast some national days. And it's going to be an open chat pretty much. So we can talk about pretty much what you want to talk about tonight. So let's get into it. This is what we're drinking tonight. What we're drinking, this is a Patroferno. It's an Appassimento. It is a Puglia wine, a Primitivo Puglia. This is a 2021 vintage. I'm going to read the front here because it may be hard to see if you're watching now. I'm going to read the front of this. It says, and it's in italics. Of course. Yeah, it's Italian wine in italics. There you go. Let's see, where are we? Patroferno is an Appassimento style wine crafted with grapes of Primitivo. The grapes are left to it says do dry, but I think they mean to. The grapes are left to dry in the sun on the plants. A powerful red expression of Puglia, it delivers pure pleasure to the palate. And it says it's a product of Italy, is what it says down there at the bottom. Here's the back end of the wine. This is the back label. I'm going to read the back of the label for you. It says Patroferno Puglia, Primitivo Appassimento, Vino Passito, red wine 2021. Appassimento is a full-bodied, rich and complex red. It is a pure expression of the heel of Italy. a tribute to Appassimento style wines. It truly delivers the complexity of this ancient winemaking technique with rich and fruity flavors. Pair with grilled steak, tomato-based dishes, and roasted chicken. This is a product of Italy, and there is 15% alcohol ABV in this 750 milliliter bottle of wine. And you can go find more information on it at www.plumridge or Plumridge, PLUMERIDGE.com. And that is what we have going on there. So, oh yes, let me show you what we have to pair it with tonight. Oh man, this got messed up just a little bit. Yeah, just before the show, I was white balancing this camera 3, because it had been off for most of the week. I was white balancing the camera, and in the process, I accidentally knocked over my wine glass and some other stuff. And let's see, camera 3, here we go. And I kind of messed up. She's really beautiful. I don't know where the other piece of that. I think it's right here. This is okay. She has this one. I think there's supposed to be another piece of it somewhere. Maybe not. I hope not. I accidentally knocked it around. So it was such a beautiful presentation. I didn't have time to take a photo of it for a side shot, but this is what it looks like from the top. And of course, what we have to stream it what we have to pair it with tonight, we have some. This is an Saggio. How is it pronounced? Saggio. I don't know. It's a cheese with rosemary in it. Okay. Then we have the unexpected cheddar with parm, and the Cracker Barrel cheddar over there, and then we have some steak over there to pair it with. It's that's a steak that my lovely wife prepared just for the show tonight. Believe it or not. Yeah, that's what we've got going on there. So. Let me check Facebook just for a minute. Okay, I think, let me see if this is actually working. I have got to tell you guys about what's going on with Facebook. I'm at just about at my wit's end with Facebook here in streaming. I don't know how long we're going to be able to do that here on Facebook for a while. And the good folks of Facebook don't seem to care much about that. So at least they're not communicating with me. But enough of that right now. Let's get back to the show. Show must go on. What's Up says, thank you again for prizes. I made the apple cake from the recipe you sent, and I'm eating a slice of it right now. It's excellent. Well, that's really cool. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's a very good cake, by the way. It was unbelievable, and it goes really well with the wine, by the way. You try it with the... who had the Chardonnay? Okay, Omar had the Chardonnay. Omar says, my wife and I are enjoying the walkie-talkies. We use it during impromptu ghost hunting sessions. And by the way, congratulations. We're going to recap that in just a little bit, but I'm glad you all received it. I think everyone received their prizes except two people actually. One I haven't heard from yet as far as sending the prize out to. The other one, the other person, the other individual, it is still on the way. It's still en route. And which is really surprising because he's located in the same general part of the country that some of you that won prizes in are located. But for some reason, when I checked the USPS tracking today, it said it wasn't going to be delivered until Monday. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Kind of weird, but that hopefully it should get there and safely. Yeah, I do. I track these things. I track these packages myself because I want to make sure everybody gets what I told them I was going to send them. I have a story about that, but that's for another time. So, well, I'm glad you're enjoying the walkie-talkies, Omar. And the radios are great, and there are a lot of great uses for them. I'm not going to go into a long thing about it right now, but there are a lot of uses. I have one right here, as a matter of fact. This is a GMRS radio. This one requires a license; those don't. But it uses the same frequencies as the ones, the FRS radios that you're using, and so I have a few radios. nearby that I get onto and talk with and conduct business with from time to time. Anyway, so where were we? Oh, yes, we were going to open the wine, weren't we? See, that's how the stream of consciousness thing works. We can get 20 minutes into the show, as we are right now, and not even get the wine open. So let's go ahead and open it right now. So I have my trusty foil cutter here. There it goes. Came right off. Look at that. And I have, this is one of the things that fell on the floor. I think it broke a little bit. Sorry, Chi. This was a gift from my wife and my kids. Something broke off it. I'm not sure where. Oh, it goes in here. Okay. It was a little down here somewhere. I didn't want to lose it, so I put it somewhere so I wouldn't lose it. Now I can't find it. A lot of good that did. Okay, let's get this open. All right. The sooner we get to tasting wine, the sooner we can have some fun. Okay. The wine is open. Now, I did not forget about it. I have my trusty aerator. We're going to put that into the bottle. I did not chill this wine, by the way. I don't know if it really needed to be chilled, but some wines do, some wines don't. I'm not chilling this one, but the aerator's in place. And to hold the grape nectar, I have my trusty Galway genuine Irish crystal glass from Ireland, given to me by my employers at ByTwoWayRadios.com. I'm going to pour a little bit of this wine into the glass, just a little bit for starters. By the way, everyone received your, all the winners there, received your official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook. You can use it tonight if you like. You don't have to, but if you like, you can use it. That's what it's for. It's for using and enjoying. And, of course, I have my Drink with Rick coaster. I think I sent everyone a pair of those as well, right? Okay, gonna give it a little swirl here. Nice little swirl. I can smell aromas coming up. Well, it smells like a fair amount of tobacco in there. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside for just a minute, and while it's breathing, we're going to let it open up a little bit. While it's doing that, let's learn a little bit more about this wine. Now, I did not find out a whole lot about this wine, except that it is sold at Trader Joe's, and it seems to be well liked at Trader Joe's. Vivino gives it 4 stars out of 32 ratings, and I just kind of skimmed through some of the ratings, see what people thought about it. People seemed to like it. They thought it was a pretty good value from Trader Joe's. I have never tried this wine before myself. I saw it in Trader Joe's, and I thought, well, here's a wine I have not tried before. Let's try it tonight. The alcohol content was a bit high. I almost didn't. I picked it up off the shelf, and then I looked at the alcohol content, and then I put it back, because normally I don't like to drink wines that are, like 14 or 15% alcohol ABV. I like, because some of these wines, there's a tendency for some of these wines that have really high alcohol content you really taste the alcohol more than you taste the wine sometimes. I don't like that. So I like to enjoy the wine. The alcohol is part of it, just a little taste. It's okay, but I don't want to be... Look, if I want to drink alcohol, I'll go out and have some rum like I did the last night, or tequila or something, But the wine, I want to enjoy the flavors, the fruitiness of the wines. That's what I like. So, but enough about me. Everyone's taste is different. Everyone's palate's different. Anyway, I saw the 15% and I thought, that's a little bit high. But then I thought, well, okay, why not? It's a wine I've never tried before. Let's give it a fair and an honest review. So I picked one up, and that's what we're doing tonight. So apparently it is popular here. I did not really, before I picked the wine up at Trader Joe's, I had not done any research on this wine at all. I really didn't. And in searching around on the internet, I really didn't find a whole lot about it. In fact, when I went to Wine Searcher, there were no prices on this wine except prices in some other countries. In US dollars, actually. That didn't really help me here. But I'll tell you what I paid for it. Now, Vivino says it's $13.34 average of all user-reported prices. I paid, because I have my Trader Joe's receipt right here, I paid $12.99 for this Patroferno Appassimento, this 750 milliliter bottle from Trader Joe's here in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's what I paid for this wine. So, I have heard, once again, I've heard some good things about it. I don't know if I'm going to like it myself, but we'll find out. Anyway, back to the chats for a moment, and let's see what's going on in the chats, and checking, okay, good. Everybody's ready with bated breath. Oh, Omar says, tequila shots with Rick would be a good sign for Cinco de Mayo. Okay. Would be a good spin for. Oh, would be a good spin for Cinco de Mayo. I'm sorry, I misread that a little bit. Tequila shots, huh? I have to give that some thought. I don't normally really review the really strong alcohols like that here on the show. We do beers and ciders. We've done that before. We will continue to do that. For Cinco de Mayo, is that on a Saturday? I don't know. I haven't looked at the. Let me see. Let me jump ahead a little bit here and check my calendar. February, March, April, May. It's a Friday. Why not? That could be fun. That could be fun, Omar. I appreciate the suggestion. Okay, so let's give this wine a little bit of a whiff. And yeah, it kind of smells like a little bit of tobacco in there, but it also smells black cherry. Getting a lot of black cherry. And it smells earthy. Let's give it a little bit of a taste. Wow. Sweet on the tongue. There is some sweetness to it. Now, I was expecting a drier wine, but this is fairly, it's not sweet, but it has a sweet taste on the tongue, and there is a little bit of sweetness going down in the finish, especially. It's a fair finish. It's not super long, but it's a fair finish. But there is some black cherry in this wine. Let me see if I'm getting. I'm not really getting to. I got a little tobacco on the nose when I first opened it up. I'm not really tasting the tobacco right now, but it is fairly earthy. And yeah, I'm getting the black cherry, and I want to say I'm getting a hint of something else in here. What is this? Yeah, I want to say it's a little bit of. It's kind of jammy. It is a bit jammy. I want to say there's some blackberry in here too, but it is kind of on the jammy side. I've heard people, well, not heard them. I've read that some people are getting pomegranate out of this, and I'm not really. Well, I don't know. Maybe if it opens up, I'll taste a little pomegranate in it, but I'm not getting that at the moment either. I'm getting the black cherry though. That stands out. Not really pomegranate, but the cherry, the black cherry, and the and some blackberry in there, and it is fairly earthy, and it's kind of jammy. It's fairly jammy. It's also the sweetness is subsiding just a little bit, and maybe that's because my palate's getting used to that a little bit, but it's still, I'm getting a little bit of that at the end. There are some tannins in here. It's about medium tannin. It's not super light on the tannin, but they're kind of refined. I think they're pretty decent. It's a decent amount of tannin in it. It's not a lot. It's not zero or anything like that. Kind of, I wouldn't say they're medium actually. They're a little bit on the lighter side. But it is a medium sweet wine. It's not really dry. It's a little on the sweet side. It's fairly bold, though. And then if you look at it, too, I didn't really look at the complexion too much, but you can kind of tell, and the lights, usually, I kind of stopped doing this for a while, looking at the complexion of the wine in the studio, because the lights, on camera, it looks like all these wines are bold. And that's because of the way the lights are hitting the glass. But from my vantage point, I can kind of see, if it's bold or if it's... This is a very, very deep ruby. It actually has a very, very dark complexion, very bold. And this is a very full-bodied wine. Very full-bodied. So if you're not used to those full-bodied wines, that doesn't necessarily mean the wine is heavy. It just, it's just, there's a lot of body to this wine. And you can, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's, it has a lot of legs to it. A lot of legs. So yeah, it is fairly full-bodied. Interesting wine. I'm going to have to let this open up a little bit and try a little bit more through the show because I'm kind of torn on this. I like Puglia wines, but this one is a little sweet, and I'm not sure if it's too sweet for me or not, and if it's too bold for me or not. I don't know. I'm going to give this one some time to open up, and then we'll try it some more, and we're going to pair it with the foods. As a matter of fact, we're going to pair it right now. As soon as we get through the chats again, Omar says, what about mead? It's closer to wine. It is. Yeah, it is. But, and a good brandy. Yeah, it's... I've never reviewed a mead on the show before. That would be kind of interesting. If I can find a decent mead to try out. Let me try it. Let me write that down. Mead. Review mead. We'll see. Omar says, hey, Rick, how would you define a tannin quality? Well, if it brings up the... if it kind of helps you salivate a little bit when you're drinking the wine, a little bit of salivation, and you can, and it's a little bit of, it kind of makes your lips kind of, I wouldn't make your lips purse, but it kind of makes the inside of your mouth, purse up a little bit. How do I describe it? I've seen it described various ways, but it's with the tannins and the way the tannins are done. It's like if you take a grape and you got the skin on the grape, like a dark grape, and you bite into the grape, and you can kind of taste that sort of. That doesn't happen to everybody, does it? Some people don't. They just eat the grapes. If you take a green grape and if you take a red grape, or a purple grape, and there's a difference there in the way the green grape, when you bite into it, it's not. You don't have that kind of. It doesn't really draw the saliva out as much as that red grape does because it's got that red grape has that skin on it. That's actually where the tannins come from. It comes from basically the skin on the grapes. That's why white wines don't have tannins in them as a general rule, because the way a lot of the white wines are done is that they peel the skin off the grapes. They take the skin off the grapes, and then not all white wines are like that. There are light grapes, but they take the skin off the grape and process the grape that way. In other words, some of these, like these rosé wines, are kind of like that, where there can be a red wine, they take the skin off, it's skinless, process it, and becomes a rosé. Where was it going now? I just lost my train of thought. How would you define the tannin quality? Yeah, we'll get back to that here in a little bit. Let me get to because it's getting late. I'm watching my clock here. I'm trying to watch my clock because I promised Chi I would. Let's get to the pairing here. I'm sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. I am a little bit distracted. It's I'm doing my own producing here, as I usually do, and the thing is that I get a lot to distract me sometimes, especially when things are not going right, as they are not tonight on Facebook. I know I keep mentioning Facebook. I stream to 5 different platforms, and I'll tell you the ones that give me no trouble at all. Odyssey gives me 0 trouble. Twitter gives me no trouble at all. Twitch, no trouble. I usually have 0 trouble on Twitch. YouTube used to give me a little bit of trouble, and I got that resolved, and it's been fine for a long time. And Justice says, I missed that. Here, Justice says there's so many wines out there. Black cherry sounds nice. Tobacco smell? Well, when I talk about tobacco, I'm talking about just a hint of tobacco, kind of a tobacco kind of smell or taste. Just a hint of it, just more like a spice, as a spice rather than just chewing tobacco or something like that. It's not anything like you're smoking a cigarette or something, or heavy on a cigar or something. It's just it's kind of a light, very, very light tobacco flavor. Where was I? In YouTube, I don't have any trouble. Facebook just gives me fits, and I'm going to tell you that I'm about ready to close things up on Facebook a little bit if things don't get any better. And I'll explain to that in a little bit, because I think it affects everyone on Facebook who watches me. A fair portion of my audience is on Facebook, and it's just it's to the point where it's difficult for them to even find me now, because the way Facebook and their bots have been behaving with the show. I'll get into that a little bit. Let's go ahead and What's Up says, my wife and I had a wine class on our honeymoon in Italy, and the sommelier who led it had us learn smells from an aroma kit he had. Yeah, actually, that's not an uncommon way to do that. That was the first time I started to understand how to pick up different flavors in wine, but I still suck at it. It is something. Look, I'm not a professional sommelier either. I'm an everyman that likes to drink wine, and I tell everyone that. I'm just an everyman. Like 99.99% of everybody out there, all I know is what I like and what I don't like, and that's the way most people drink wine. They don't, it's not something that you're born with or pick up right away. Well, I'm a professional wine taster. It's something that you learn over time, and you have to sort of develop the palate for it. And some of these guys, these sommeliers, they study for decades and throughout their life on refining their palates and learning how to pick things out. There are a few of these people out there that can actually tell you, they can sip a wine and tell you exactly what region that grape was from and how it was grown, everything, just pretty much from the taste. That's a refined palate. I'm nowhere near like that, and I don't claim to be. What I know is I know the wines I like, and the wines that I don't like, and the ones that I prefer to drink, and that's good enough for me. It really is. So, we'll talk about tannins a little bit more actually in a little bit. Where was I? Actually, when we're talking about tannins, here I am going off my train of thought again. We're talking about tannins. It's not just wine that you'll find tannins in. You'll find a lot of different foods. You'll find different, as I mentioned, the grapes before. You take a green grape, and you're not going to have that astringent taste that you'll get from, say, a red grape. That'll really kind of, really define the presence of tannins. It's kind of, see, some people say they're bitter. I wouldn't say so much bitter, but I would just say it's astringent. I think that's the word that I'm looking for, and I guess it's kind of bitter. It's bitter. But they basically, once again, the tannins basically come from the skins and the seeds of the grape. And that's a good example. Yeah, if you've ever had a grape with seeds in it and you bit down on the seeds, that kind of dry, astringent taste that you get from the seed. That's what you're tasting. Are a lot of the time are the tannins in the grape or in the seed. So Yeah, I'm really distracted tonight, folks. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be. Show must go on. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's forget Facebook for a while. And let's concentrate on where the action is. All right, right now the action is on this plate. This is what we've got to pair the food with. And we're going to try it with the steak first. This is a steak, a beef steak. We're going to try it with this and go to camera. Well, let's go to camera 2. Here we go. And I'll taste it with this wine. What can't I might want this camera? Chewy. That's because we've been sitting here for 40 minutes. Good steak though. Not bad with the steak. I like it with the steak, but I will say that the sweetness, that twinge of sweetness at the end, kind of sort of overpowers the taste of the steak in this particular case, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I kind of like when the wine and the food kind of sort of mesh together and create kind of a new taste. This one I could taste the steak, but then the wine comes in at the end and kind of, wow, look at me, the wine. So, yeah, it's okay with the steak. It's all right. Not bad. Let's go back to camera 3. Well, let me clear the palate first. I've got to clear the palate, don't I? Yeah, this. Let me check Facebook one more time. I've got to be. I was sitting here talking about tannins the whole time. I'm looking at Facebook like, what's going on with this? Okay. Sorry, folks. My full attention should be on you, not on what's happening on Facebook. Okay, so I cleared the palette. Let's go back to camera 3. And let's try it. This is Sergio cheese here. Let's try it with this. Okay, this is, what's it called? I wrote it down. She brought it up to me just for the show. With rosemary. It has a rosemary in it, apparently. Yeah? And it has quite a bit of rosemary in it. It does. I almost choked out of there. I'm going to have to try that again. I didn't really... false start there. I got a bit of this cheese in there. It's a good cheese, by the way, actually. Okay, this is nice. Pairs very nicely with the cheese. I think this would go pretty well with most, because that's a kind of a hard cheese. And I think it would go pretty well with most hard cheeses. Let me clear the palate for just a minute. And then we'll go back to camera 3 and try it with the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda, because that's one we've never had a miss on. And as many of you watching know, the Gouda has actually, on occasion, saved the wine. So let's try it with the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda, a personal favorite of mine and of cheese. Cheese. My wife cheese, not the cheese. Okay. And Double Cream Gouda is good, as usual. Oh. Not a bad pairing. And I want to say that the tobacco and just a hint of pomegranate popped out in that one, just a little bit, with that cheese. I thought that was interesting. And it's not the cheese that did it, but I think it kind of brought out those flavors a little bit. And the wine, they were kind of hiding in the wine somewhere. So the cheese brought out a couple of flavors in the wine that I wasn't really, like the pomegranate, that I wasn't getting before. That's interesting. Clear the palate one more time. Let's go back to camera 3. That's not camera 3. This is camera 3. All right, let's go to the cheddar. This is the Cracker Barrel cheddar. And we're going to try it with that. I see how it pairs out. This is actually a pretty good cheddar. Not really a mild cheddar, not super sharp. Kind of, I don't know, kind of medium cheddar. A little sharper than medium, maybe. That's not bad as well. I think that little bit of sweetness in the wine and the cheddar, I actually think they blend fairly well together. So I kind of like it with the cheddar. I could drink this wine with some cheddar cheese. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Well, so the pairing went fairly well there in that respect. So that's what we have for the pairing. So far, I'm kind of liking this wine. It's growing on me. It's growing on me a little bit. It is. It's growing on me a little bit. Another ounce here and another ounce there. So much for my diet tonight. Okay, so let me go back to... All right, Facebook is... I should probably just turn off Facebook. Justice says, black cherry sounds nice. Tobacco smell? Oh, I read that one already. I'm sorry. All right, so Omar, you're saying that was a helpful description of tannin. Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of had a false start there with explaining the tannin the first time because I was just so distracted with what was going on on this. I really kind of need a producer here, right? Somebody who can monitor all this other stuff for me so I can concentrate on talking with you and doing this show. That's what I really need to do. When you're just streaming to one platform or two platforms, it's not so bad because then you can just kind of do the streaming. I like Twitch. If you're just on Twitch and you're just streaming on that and you're just concentrating on the Twitch chats, then it's not a big deal. But when you've got 5 streams going and you're watching 5 different chats and you're trying to keep up with one of them's not behaving very well, and then that becomes a little distracting. So sorry about that, Omar. I will try to I'll try to concentrate more on the Twitch and the YouTube end of it from the spin in the Odyssey end going forward here. All right, so what do we got here? Oh yes, this is the drinking game recap. Let's recap the drinking game last week a little bit. We had a really good time. We had folks in the chat. I really appreciate all of you who showed up for the game last week, and we had a great time. I enjoy doing these things, by the way, and I like to do more of them. It's a lot of fun, and I love to give away stuff. When I have stuff to give away, I love to be able to give away things, and I'm glad you all enjoyed it. And as I mentioned, I think I mentioned at the very beginning, I think I was checking, and most everyone got their prizes. I think 2 people did not get their prizes yet. One is still in transit, and the other one I haven't shipped yet because I'm waiting for a response from them about shipping. So once I get that, then I'll be able to ship that one out. But it is actually in a box down here waiting to be shipped. And I was thinking, I really would like to do this game more often during the year, but they really only come out with these wine advent calendars once a year. So maybe I could make my own, and we could kind of make it sort of a regular or semi-regular thing. I think we could do it with beers, too. That could be kind of fun, or ciders. I think we could have a good time doing that. I enjoy doing that, and I'm looking for some software or an application that I can put into OBS here that I use to stream with, and maybe help refine this game somewhat so it's easier to see where the players are and that sort of thing. We've done some trivia games on here before in the past on the show as well, and I enjoy doing those, and we'll do some more of those during the year as well. Justice says it was so much fun on New Year's. It was, and I really enjoyed. We had a great time on New Year's, and rang in the new year in 2023. Hopefully, it's going off to a great start for everyone. And I'll be honest. Monday was great. I went into work on Monday as usual, but by Monday, late Monday afternoon, I started having kind of a bit of a health issue. So I didn't want to call into work the next day. I didn't want to do that because I had so much going on. It was New Year, and we had a lot of things happening, and there were projects I was working on, and I didn't want to break away from those. So my boss said, why don't you just work from home? You're having a health issue there, get that dealt with, but go ahead and work from home. So I said that, yeah, that's great. That'll work fine. So for the next couple of days, I worked from home while dealing with my health issue, and I actually got a lot more accomplished at home than I was getting accomplished at the office. So we were still working on this project. So my boss just said, hey, because I was feeling better by Wednesday evening. So I said, well, I'll come in on Thursday and to the office. And he says, no, you're on a roll right now. You're on a roll right now. Just stay home and just keep doing what you're doing at home and get it done at home because, I was making so much progress. And so that's what I did Thursday and Friday. So Tommy was driving himself into work most of the week on his own. But because usually he and I drive in together because we both work for the same company. But I have to say that, I get a lot more done at home typically when I'm working from home. And during COVID, when everybody had to work from home, I got a lot more done then too. It's just than at the office because when I go into the office, there are all these other distractions going on and different things that take me away from doing some of the other stuff I need to do. And then at home, I can just sit up here. Nobody bothers me. It's my home studio office. I can just sit up here. Nobody interrupts me, and I can just sit down and concentrate on what I'm doing. And it's, I get a lot accomplished that way. So some folks don't really work well from home. It's not for everybody, but I'm one of those people that I happen to, put me in a room, close the door, and just let me do what I have to do. And I'm fine. And I can just sit there and get on a roll and just, and just keep going. So, and I'm fine with that. So anyway, that was what was saying. Okay, so that was my week. And here I am talking about myself. I want to know how your week went. How did your week go? I hope everyone had a great new year, and I hope everyone's first week of the new year went really, really well. And as Omar was saying that, my wife and I are enjoying the walkie-talkies. You're doing impromptu ghost hunting sessions. Well, you're going to tell me about that a little bit. You do ghost hunting, huh? Not really my thing, but I know some people are really into that. Me, I prefer to kind of stay away from that stuff. But excuse me. But how does it go? You guys do that as a hobby? Are you doing it sort of full time? How does that impromptu ghost hunting? That's interesting. I'm gonna clear the palate a bit. You need to drink more and talk less, right? That'll probably help. All right, a little more wine here. It's okay. Yeah, the wine's okay so far. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite wine, but it's okay. It's not bad. What's Up says, I had been off for 2 weeks, so it was rough going back to work. That kind of, I can understand that. I mean, when you've been off for a while, and then you just have to go back in, and then you kind of catch up, and you kind of get back. You got to get back in that groove, and the first couple of days doing that, it's kind of hard, isn't it? It really is. That's what happens to me. I just go into after I've been off and I was sick for a week and for a while, and I went back into work the next Monday, and I spent most of that first day just trying to catch up on stuff. the stuff that had kind of gotten away that I was supposed to be attending to, but I couldn't because I was so homesick. And that happens, doesn't it? So, yeah, usually that first day back or first couple of days back, it's a little bit on the rough side, especially if you're still in recovery mode, right? If you're in recovery mode from, like if you're on vacation for 2 weeks and you go to Cancun or something, you come back and you go back to work, but your head's still in Cancun. It's like, no, really, it takes a while to get back into the groove after you've been away for so long. Like 3 days or 4 days, not too bad, but it's a couple of weeks. Yeah, it takes a while to get acclimated back to work, right? Omar says, okay, so this is how you're doing the ghost hunting, right? Omar says, I hide somewhere in the house and she talks into the walkie-talkie asking if there's a ghost in the house. I'll try and give her a scare. It's a great time. Feel better, Rick. Salud. Well, thanks, Omar. I am feeling better. I'm feeling much better now. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be drinking this. Kind of health issue I had. I had to stay off the wine for a few days. I won't go into details, but let me just say that my stomach just wasn't feeling real good for a few days. Must have been something I ate. I don't know. Anyway, we're back in. How's it go? Yeah, we're I don't want to say back in the saddle. We're back in business. There we go. All right, so you hide somewhere in the house, and she talks in the walkie-talkie asking if there's ghosts in the house. I'll try and give her a scare. It's a great time. That sounds like a lot of fun. I got a story about that. When Tommy's dog Cosmo, it was a lot of fun to play with him because we used to play a hide-and-seek game with him where we'd play ball for a bit with his ball, and then I would throw the ball down the stairs or something or down the hallway, and then while he's running to go chase after it, I would run and hide somewhere in one of the rooms or in the house or something. And then he'd come back with the ball and he'd be looking for me. And he'd be almost in panic mode saying, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where is he? And he'd be looking all over the place for me. And he would check behind the door. Because after a while, he got wise to all of my hiding places. Because he'd find me, I'm always in the last place he looked, right? So he'd find me, and then he'd remember that. So I'd throw the ball again, and I'd have to hide in a different place because if I didn't and I wasn't there, he would go hunting for me, and of course the place he found me before, that's the first place he'd look. So I'd have to mix it up quite a bit. But it was a lot of fun playing hide and seek with that dog. He was a lot of fun to play with. We miss him terribly. He was a really good dog. Yeah, hide and seek. Never used the radios for that. I don't think Cosmo was. I don't think he could use the radio much. But it was always fun playing with him. It was just he was just a good dog. Where was I? Oh yes, national days. We've got to toast some national days. It's getting late, so let's go ahead and toast the national days. Wise Up says, do you plan on getting another dog? Wow, that's a very good question. By the way, do you have a dog? What's up? Do you have a dog? Or a cat? Or any kind of a pet? Yes, I'd like to get another dog. When we lost Cosmo, we lost him of October of 2021. And Tommy was just, he was in his last, he was about to start his last semester in college, or he was ending his next last semester. So he was up at Upstate. And Cosmo passed away on us one night in the middle of the night. I'd been up with him for a while, and then he had passed away. And that was such a rough night for both Chi and me, because we were kind of up tending to him, and having to break the news to my son away at college, because he was my son's dog. having to break the news to him was extremely difficult. But having to deal with it ourselves, I think when he first passed, it was like, okay, well, he's gone. And then when we took him to this is kind of morbid, but we took him to the crematorium, to the dog, crematorium, or pet crematorium is what it was. By the time, I mean, it still was kind of surreal, when he passed. But when we took him down there, while we were there, it just kind of, the reality just kind of set in for us. And I really had trouble holding back tears. It was just, it was rough. And the first few days after that, it was kind of rough. Because, losing someone like that, you're losing a member of the family. He really was a member of the family. And he was very close to all of us. And so losing him was very tough. And in the months that followed, I wanted to get another dog a few months later, because I kind of wanted to fill that void. But she still wasn't ready, and we still haven't gotten another dog, mainly because it's that adjustment period, that kind of period where we're still, I think we're all kind of at that point now where we want to get another dog, but it's still a little bit tough, because it's almost like you feel like you're replacing Cosmo, and it just, there was no replacement for him. Really, there wasn't. So, yeah, we'll probably get one pretty soon. We've been talking about it more and more, so I think everybody's kind of on board now to get it. But there was that period of time where we just, it wasn't even something we wanted to think about. It wasn't something we wanted to deal with. What's Up says, I'm sorry, Rick. My condolences to all of you. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. What's Up says, I wish, talking about a pet, he says, I wish our building doesn't allow it. I have a fish tank to cope. Well, they'll allow you to have fish. My daughter has some fish. Very interesting. What kind of fish do you have, by the way? My the CM Center has fish, and she has a couple of fish, and she has this one really big goldfish that she named Cheddar, and really big goldfish, and then another fish that was basically a child of Cheddar. And there's a long story there. I'm not going to go into it now, but Cheddar, very interesting. These fish that you'll kind of go by the tank, and they just like swim right up to you. They swim right up to you, and they're looking at you, and they're just kind of studying you, and then kind of following you around as you walk back and forth across the fish tank. Very interesting. These fish are really kind of alert. I wasn't really expecting that from a fish. I kind of figured, well, the fish, you might be curious for a minute and then take off, but these fish, they kind of like study you, and they kind of follow you around in the tank, and it's very interesting. Let's see. What's Up says, I have a school of pygmy cories and a bunch of inbred cherry shrimp. Wow, it's a shrimp, huh? So that's pretty cool. I don't know about shrimp. The closest I've got to any kind of shrimp in a tank was brine. Well, sea monkeys when I was a kid, because that's basically what sea monkeys are. They're brine shrimp. But so you're raising shrimp. That's interesting. Cherry shrimp. He says, What's Up says, I started with 10 shrimp, and then they just kept breeding. Now I have way too many. Wow. How many shrimp do you have? Justice says, what's Chi's ethnic background? Is it Japanese? No, Chi is from the Philippines. She was born and raised in the Philippines, Justice. She's Filipina, and interesting story how we met too. But she's really sweet. She's a tough little cookie, but she's very sweet too. By the way, she did my hair too. She is my stylist. She gets that credit in the credits if you're watching at the end of the show, and I give her credit for being my stylist. But she actually cut my hair just for the show, as a matter of fact. She's the only person I let touch my hair anymore. I've had a couple of bad episodes with going to a hairstylist in the past, and the first time she cut my hair, she did such a beautiful job on it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not letting anyone else touch my hair but my wife. And she does a fine job with it. But Justice, to answer your question, she's Filipino. She's from the Philippines, and I've never been to the Philippines. No, we met here. She was here. She came here originally in the early '90s on a work visa, because she's a nurse. She's an RN, and she came here on a work visa, working as a nurse. And then we met in Orlando, down in Florida. And she was at the time she was staying with her brother in Jacksonville, but we kind of met. It was interesting how we met, but we met, and then we were dating. It's kind of a long distance dating for a little bit, where she was in Jacksonville and I was in Orlando. But we drive up and back and forth to see each other, and then it started to get serious. I'll tell you what really did it for me. She's a fabulous cook, and I've told you many times what a fabulous cook she is. And what she's done, like on this, she's done such a great job on this. But when we were dating, I went up there one weekend to where she was staying with her brother, and she was really happy to see me, and she says, I'm going to cook dinner for you. And I said, okay. And I had no idea what to expect. I really had no idea what this could be about, And so she made chicken adobo. And if you're not familiar with chicken adobo, it's a Philippine dish, and it's really, really good. I had never had chicken adobo in my entire life. Didn't know what it was, and I love chicken. But she cooked this chicken adobo for me and served it to me. And my first taste of it was like, wow, this is a totally new experience for me, and this is quite good. And I'm eating my first piece of this chicken, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I gotta marry this girl. So it's really, the old adage is true. It is true that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, at least through mine. And I'm proud to say that my wife has made me the man I am today. She has. But yeah, she's from the Philippines. And Gabaguluigi is in the chat and on Twitch. And I can't talk anymore. Gabaguluigi, it's not the wine, trust me. It's just me. Gabaguluigi says it's not just that she's a good cook. The presentation is restaurant quality. Yes, it is, absolutely. She does a fantastic job, and she's been told many times she should open her own restaurant. But it's a lot of work opening a restaurant. And so What's Up says, according to the number of shrimp he says, I can't even count them, well over 50. Well over 50. It must be a big tank that you have, right? Or how big of a tank do you need for 50 shrimp? Because my daughter, she has 2 goldfish, but she says, according to her, she says that the goldfish need a certain amount of volume in water, a certain amount of space in there to thrive. And so she has hers in it's like a 40-gallon tank, I would say, 50-gallon tank. And she has 2 goldfish in there. Now, they're fairly large goldfish, about this big. But she has a tank for the 2 of them. And there were 3, 1 passed, but she has the 2 in there. And they seem to do pretty well. They seem to do pretty well in that tank. But I was kind of surprised when, first time I noticed these fish following me around, watching me and everything, staring at me while I'm eating and everything. There's a certain intelligence to some of these fish. Some of these fish are fairly intelligent. Or they seem that way anyway. So anyway, I have a respect for goldfish. Let me just check the other chats here just for a minute. Okay, we were going to toast some national days, right? We got off on my tangent here. Let's toast some national days. I've got to pull up the... not the fireworks. There we go. Here's our toasting. By the way, that animation is courtesy of CM Cinder, my daughter, and does all the graphics on this show and the animation. And she can do that for you too. You can go to tiasavoya.art or tiasavoya.com. She can make stuff for your stream if you're a streamer or whatever, podcast or whatever. She can do your art. So we've got some national days. Let's toast some national days together. I hope everyone has something to drink with. If not, everybody grab a glass and let's do some toasting. The first real toasting of the new year, per se, besides toasting the new year itself. Today is, it's almost not today anymore, it's tomorrow. It's January 7th, 2023, and today is National Play Outside Day, the first Saturday of every month. By the way, all of these national days come from nationaldaycalendar.com. That's Marlo Anderson's site, which Marlo, at the moment, is actually out at CES covering news at CES. But this is his site, nationaldaycalendar.com. I'm going to give a shout out to Marlo. National Play Outside Day, first Saturday of every month. So it's National Play Outside Day. I did not play outside today. I did not. As a matter of fact, I've got to go outside after the show. If she's watching, I hope she's... cover your ears, Chi. You don't want to hear this part. I've got to go outside after the show and dump some food out there that... I had to dump some compost out there that I forgot to dump earlier. She gave me a bag of compost. Says, here, give this to your friend. And I forgot to... I set it outside on the back porch and forgot to dump it out there. This is for Bob the raccoon. We have a raccoon that this was my substitute for not having a dog. I sort of latched on to, he's not really a pet raccoon. He's just a raccoon that lives in our backyard, and he comes around foraging for food, and he's gotten smart enough to figure out that when we throw food out there, it's for him to eat, and so now it used to be compost, but now when I throw something out there, it's actually for him, and it's fun to watch him show up and grab it and eat it and that sort of thing. But I need to get a dog. I really do. All right, so it's National Play Outside Day. Today is also National Bobblehead Day. Who doesn't have a bobblehead? I do have a bobblehead. When I had my computer store, Microsoft sent me one. When they were promoting Windows XP, this was years ago. They sent over a promotional kit to all of the system builders, and with promoting Windows XP, which was the new operating system at the time. And they included a bobblehead and in the kit, and I still have that somewhere. I don't know where it is, buried in the junk in the attic or something. Anyway, it's a National Bobblehead Day, and it's National Tempura Day. Today is National Tempura Day. So here's to all those days. I'm just going to truncate them all, and let's just toast all these national days all at once. I'll drink to them. Actually, it's starting to, I'm starting to like this more. I think it's just opened up. I think initially when it was opened up, I think it was just a little bit too intense. But as it's opened up, it's mellowed out a little bit. So I'm kind of liking this wine a little bit more now. We're going to go ahead and toast the ones for January 8th because there are a few to toast. January 8th, which will be today in about 42 minutes. It's National Career Coach Day. January 8th is National Career Coach Day. It's also Earth's Rotation Day. I didn't know there was a day for that. I thought every day was Earth's rotation day, since the Earth rotates once every 24 hours every day. Just another day on Earth, right? Here's the Earth's rotation day and National Career Coach Day. I'll drink to that. World Typing Day is January 8th. It's World Typing Day. It's also National Winter Skin Relief Day. Yes, National Winter Skin Relief Day. Okay, here's one I can toast. Sure. National Sunday Supper Day. The second Sunday in January is National Sunday Supper Day. Isn't every Sunday Supper Day? I would think so. We have a nice supper every Sunday. My wife, as a matter of fact, that what you're seeing here in camera 3, I was told that that's actually for our Sunday supper. that steak. But she said, "What do you want to have on the stream tonight?" And I said, "Well, I need a little beef to go with this wine." And she goes, "Well, I don't have anything else, but this is for tomorrow. Maybe I could just set some of this aside and cook it for you tonight." I said, "Well, that would be fantastic." So I had a preview. That was a preview of my Sunday supper tomorrow night. There you go. Here's to National Sunday Supper Day. Everybody raise your glasses and toast along. It's also, January 8th is also National English Toffee Day. I like English toffee. I'll need a little more wine for that one. English toffee. It's also National Argyle Day. If you're into Argyle, it's National Argyle Day. There you go. Actually, I'm toasting the English toffee, but it's also National Bubble Bath Day. National Bubble Bath Day. You ever have? Oh, it's been a while since I've had a bubble bath, but I'll toast National Bubble Bath Day. And it's also, this is interesting, it's National Joy Germ Day. Now, I actually had to look this up at nationaldaycounter.com. I had to look this one up to find out what the heck National Joy Germ Day was all about. What is a joy germ? I found out, and I'm getting this from nationaldaycounter.com. It says it's National Joy Germ Day, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this. It reminds people that by being positive and treating people with kindness, that you can influence those around you and pass on that positive attitude. And there's a lot of truth to that, because I mean, when you have a good mood, when you are in a good mood, as they say, smiles are infectious, right? When you're in a good mood, people around you tend to be in a better mood. They see you in a good mood, and it kind of rubs off on them a little bit. When you're smiling to them, they have a greater tendency to smile back. Most people, okay. Okay, but as a general rule, this is true. So, what National Joy Germ Day? We are talking about joy germs, the germ of joy, as if joy is a germ. I don't like to think of joy as a germ per se. I like to think of joy as a state of being, wouldn't you? I think it's more of a state of being, but they're saying, okay, they're being playful with it, and then they're saying it's joy germ. And instead of passing around bad germs to people, germs that can make people sick, why not infect people with the germ of joy? Okay, I'm on board with that. I am totally on board with that. Here's to National Joy Germ Day. I will drink to that. And you know what? It doesn't count because I lost my, there you go. Let's do it again. Here's to National Joy Germ Day. And by the way, if you're on Twitch, you can clip that if you want. National Joy Germ Day. I'll drink to that. Again. National Joy Germ Day. Who knew? Now we all know. The things you see, this show is educational. You can learn things on this show. Now you know there is a Joy Germ Day. How about that? What's up? Says, my dad has a squirrel he does the same thing with and also named him Bob. Really? Wow. You know what's up there is I'm laughing because I think we should all laugh. No, I'm laughing with you, not at you. I'm not laughing at your dad. I'm laughing because it is coincidental. It is a coincidence that he named the squirrel Bob. That's interesting. Your dad and I are kindred spirits here, I guess, because my raccoon friend out there, I named him Bob the raccoon. His name is Bob the raccoon. Oh, that's what I call him anyway. That's what the kids are calling him now too, Bob the raccoon. And I've got to go out and feed Bob after the show tonight, as a matter of fact. Unless he has found a way to get into that plastic bag that she tied up in a knot, which he conceivably could because he is a very, very intelligent. He has, Bob there, he figured out very early on that when he sees the porch light go on, somebody's going to open that door and throw him some food. So he really scared the daylights out of Chi the first time this happened because he saw the light, because I'd been tossing the food out, turn on the porch light, open the door, toss some food out, close the door, and turn off the light. So it conditioned him into saying, hey, when that light goes on, it's feeding time. So I did this a few times when the first night, and then the last time I did it, everybody's looking out the window watching him eat. And so I said, well, hey, I've got one more thing to throw out there. So I turned on the light and opened the door, and he was right there. He was right there at the door, and looking at me and like, hey, what you got? And I kind of freaked out and shut the door in his face because I wasn't expecting to see this big old raccoon. The guy's big. He's kind of big. He's about the size of the Cosmo was. He was a good 15-pound raccoon, maybe bigger. Cute guy, but just, this is big. So then he left. He went off the porch, and I shut off the light. He went off the porch. And a few minutes later, I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna try and throw this thing out there." Well, Chi had gone out there. She turned on the light and looked out opened the door, and he shot up the stairs to the porch on the deck so fast it freaked her out. It freaked her out, and then she shut the door on him again a second time because she saw him just shoot up the stairs over to her. She shut the door, but it was pretty funny. But he's fast. He's a big fat raccoon, but boy, that raccoon is fast. Anyway, so we've dubbed him Bob the raccoon. Omar says, I raise a toast to Bob. Yes, to Bob the raccoon. I've got video. I don't have it set up here tonight, but I've got a little video. Maybe I can show it to you next week. You can set it up there of Bob the raccoon. Very interesting character, this Bob. And Justice, okay, I already answered that one question for you. All right, let's see what else is going on Facebook. Okay, and Ed is on Facebook now. I just got here a few minutes ago. Ed says, Ed, finally here, and I'm glad that you are here, my good friend Ed. I still keep Facebook running for you and those who are on Facebook that can't go anywhere else. Okay, I guess I should explain what's going on with Facebook, right? Because I said I would before we close up. That's last week's notes. These are this week's notes. There you go. So, Ed, I take it you got your prizes, right? You got your prizes? I hope so. All right, so here's what's going on Facebook, and this is important for you to know because for those of you who are on Facebook especially, because I'm going to have to make some I'm going to have to make some calls on this soon to find out if we're going to continue or to stream on Facebook or not. Now, like I said, we stream on 5 different venues, and we've got to talk about it tonight just briefly because first of all, I value everyone's input on this, your input, but at the same time, I've got to give you all a heads up for those of you who are on Facebook, in particular, Twitch, Odyssey, YouTube, Twitter. You don't have to worry about any of this. This is just a Facebook issue. All right. So what happened? What started happening? And this started happening some time ago. I've always had issues with Facebook, but a little while back, I got a copyright strike. About the time we started doing the music, we do the music for the show here, and it's. I have a license. I have a full license for this music. As a matter of fact, this music is created on the Creative Commons license, but I bought a license from Kevin MacLeod anyway, just so I could use it on the show and anything else that might come up. I said, well, I give him credit on the show. He gets credit in the credits and everything, and that's good enough for him. But I bought the license for it anyway. One, to support him because we've used a lot of his music in the past in various projects, and I like his music, and to support him, his efforts, but also to be ready in case we had any issues down the road. And Ed says, package just got here today. Neat. Did you get the kitchen towel? I did. Thank you very much for the kitchen towel, by the way. I did. I forgot to mention that last week. Well, you were at the party last week, but I want to say thank you very much, my friend. You didn't have to do that. You were really kind to do that. Kind of matches the mug, doesn't it? It matches the mug that you sent me. It was really, really cool gift, and I really appreciate it. And we actually are using it downstairs, as a matter of fact. So I really do appreciate that, Ed. Thank you very much. And enjoy the book, by the way, the official Drink with Rick wine tasting notebook, which you can actually buy it at Amazon. It's $8.99 over at Amazon.com. But I have more copies on the way to give away for free on the show. So I'm going to give more away on the show in the coming months. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, okay, Facebook. So I got a copyright strike because Facebook has these bots on there like they all do, and pegged this music that I use from and that I have a full license from Kevin MacLeod. It's called Sweeter Vermouth is the name of the piece. Apropos, isn't it? Sweeter Vermouth, the wine show. That's why I picked it. It was intentional, and I kind of like the music. And it fits. It fits the show. So, and it worked out really well. But anyway, so the Facebook bots had, during the past, last year, during the fall of last year, started cherry picking a few episodes, and not all of them, but a few of them, and saying, hey, we're going to mute this, so we're going to actually block your video. So while we're streaming, you can watch the video during the stream, but as soon as the stream is over and I go in and try to edit the stream or anything, trim it down or anything, immediately after the stream's done, these bots get in on the act and block that stream. So I can't, you can't view it after the fact on Facebook. And what I have to do is, for every time they do this, I have to take my license and I have to dispute it, each individual one. Now I have 190 episodes as of tonight on Facebook, and not all of them have the music, but a lot of them do. And I have to go through every time I get a copyright strike on this. I have to go get my license and dispute each one individually. And dispute it, and then eventually they lift the strike, or they lift the block, but it was an issue for a while, and then it stopped for a while. Then right around just before Thanksgiving, it started again, and this time it started because there was this bot, and I'm going to tell you, I wasn't going to call him out before, but this is what's happening now. It is the FIFA World Cup 2022 Qatar. That's what that is. FIFA World Cup 2022 Qatar is striking my individual episodes for music, claiming that they own the worldwide copyrights to the music, which is totally untrue. They don't have copyright because this is Kevin MacLeod's music. He owns the music worldwide. So they're claiming copyright on this music. And by doing that, they're just automatically blocking views for my show on Facebook. Don't have this problem anywhere else. Facebook is fine. Odyssey is fine. Twitter is fine. Twitch is fine. Nothing wrong with the music there. It's Facebook. And my calls for my trying to contact Facebook has just been deaf ears, and I think I got one response from them, and it was just basically a cut and paste response. They didn't even I don't even think they even read my and if they did, they just put in a cut and paste response to it and just basically blew me off. And so I had to go through the process again here in the last few months, and every week I've been getting a copyright strike on my video. Now, each week I dispute it, and as a matter of fact, this bot, I assume it's a bot, this FIFA World Cup 2022 Qatar hit the first time they hit like 5 of them all at once, and I had to go through and I had to put the dispute in each one of those things. And it takes 7 days. Here's the thing. It's not immediate. It takes 7 days for them to review it. 7 days. It took them like that to hit me with this block, but it takes them 7 days to go back and review it. Go figure. So I'm getting pretty fed up with this. It got old the first time. But I keep doing that, and of course, after 7 days, these FIFA World Cup 2022 Qatar people, if they're really people, I don't know what the deal is here, if it's a bot or people or what, they go in and say, yeah, they lifted it. Of course, it's you've got a license to it, and they lift it. Then it's the next week, and they do it again. So this is what's happening. Aside from that, I've got other issues going on Facebook. Tonight, I was trying to get this show set up to stream on the Drink with Rick page and a couple of other pages that I have. And Facebook wanted to do all kinds of funky things with it and make me change some things and whatever. And it just stuff that's never happened before. This is stuff that's never happened before. This is a new thing. So it's getting to be so difficult to set up a stream on Facebook that and to even maintain one on Facebook that I'm seriously considering dropping Facebook for the stream. It's not worth it anymore. It's not. I mean, it's worth it for you, for those who are watching now. But if as soon as the show's over, and they block it, you're not going to see it anyway. And my viewership on Facebook has dropped considerably. Now, my viewership on everywhere else, Twitch and YouTube and everywhere else, has gone up. The opposite is true on Facebook. Facebook, my viewership's gone down. Fewer people are watching on Facebook because half of them can't even see it. And the other half, if I'm going to make a notification that the stream's coming up, they aren't notified. They don't know that it's going to be on. And Facebook will no longer let me boost a post because they're saying I'm serving alcohol. So they have a new policy now where if you are promoting alcohol or selling alcohol, which I don't sell alcohol, but promoting it in any way, I'm not allowed to boost the post. So I'm getting pretty fed up with Facebook. So I'm going to ask everybody here what you think I ought to do. Should I continue to post on Facebook, or should I continue to do this or not? I know, Ed, I don't know if you can watch on any other venues or not. For some folks, Facebook is all they have. and I don't want to alienate a part of my audience that they can only see me on Facebook. And I don't mean to go long on this rant. It's just that this is kind of a serious issue for me, and I'm having to make some decisions as to whether I'm going to continue with this Facebook thing issue or not, because it's becoming more than distracting. As you could see earlier tonight, I'm trying to answer a question for about tannins, and I'm too distracted with Facebook to even answer the question. So the question now becomes, do I continue on with Facebook and just keep on keeping on, or do I drop Facebook altogether as a streaming venue? I don't know. I'm seriously considering it. I don't know. And once again, I don't mean to be harping on it too long. It's just that for those of you who are on Facebook, you need to know, it's important for you to know, because, you know, if one day I just drop off and you don't see me on Facebook anymore, it's not that I quit streaming. It's just that I can't go on Facebook anymore and stream. They made it too difficult. So I'm appealing to everyone here as to what you think I ought to do. I'm gonna ask you what your thoughts on it. And you can leave it in the show notes now or later. Just let me know, and I welcome your thoughts on it. And I'm going to take them all very, very seriously. What's Up says, any big plans for episode 200? As a matter of fact, what's up? Yes, there are. And episode 200 is only 10 episodes away. It actually comes up. It happens to be the last stream of season 4. Now, usually we'll take a 2 to 3 week break at the end of March, between March and April. I get a 2 to 3 week break in between seasons to where I start the next season, and this gives me time to. Well, first of all, you know, when you do this for 50 weeks out of the year, it's kind of nice to have a break every once in a while. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I love doing this thing every night, but it's nice to have a Saturday off every once in a while, just kind of recharge, a reboot. But the main thing that 2 or 3 week period is for me to do any kind of retooling I need to do, and any kind of prep I need to do to kick off the next season. Because each season, if you've been following the Winestream for the last 4 years, you'll notice that it has really evolved from basically nothing to where we are now, and which is a little more than nothing. We're not a big stream, but we're a fun one. So this gives me time. This little break gives me time to kind of retool and prep for what I want to do for the next season. And I want to do some big things. I want to try to do a winemaking thing where we actually go through the process, like do a little 5-minute segment each week that's pre-produced, that we go through the process of making a wine, and then at the end of that series, then I actually open it up and review it on the show. I thought that would be kind of fun. A lot of people said before that, hey, that's a pretty cool idea. Why don't you do that? So I want to give that a try. It's just I with all the holidays and everything else going on, I haven't had time to actually sit down and plan this out. So that little break there is going to give me time to do that. So that's one of the things. The other thing is some of the films that I want to show too, because I've got some other films that I've got to prep up to show that I think you'll really enjoy. One is actually a feature film that I made. Yes, I did make a feature, very low budget feature film, and it was a small feature, and I have not really had time to sit down and prep it up for this. It's been transferred to video already, but there's some post-production work I have to do to get it ready. This was all shot in Super 8 back in the early 90s. But that's one of the things I want to do. So that's some big things I want to have that I want to do coming up for episode 200. So yes, please hang around. What's up for episode 200? And yeah, I'm going to have. We'll probably do a big giveaway. We're going to do a big giveaway and things like that for episode 200. Those are the plans that I have. Don't want to let out too much ahead of time, but yes, I do have some plans for that. So hopefully everybody will join me for episode 200. That will be towards the end of March, because we have we get 10 episodes away. So anyway, so Ed. Yeah, Ed says Facebook is pretty much what I've got, and you're not the only one. I know there is a segment of my audience. I do have viewers. Yes, I do have viewers. People who watch now and later, especially after the copyright strike or the strike, the hold is lifted, and not so much a strike, but after the hold is lifted on the video, after that 7-day period, there are people that watch it. It's just that it's getting tougher for people to find me on Facebook, and which is why my viewership on Facebook, primarily, why it's dropped so much in the last in the last 6 months since this has started happening. It's dropped considerably just because of that. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here, because I can't be. I put more. I spend more time setting up my stream and dealing with my stream on Facebook than I do on all the 4 other ones combined. I mean, seriously, it takes me a few minutes. It just takes me a couple of minutes to set it up on Odyssey. It takes me about a minute and a half on Twitter. And yes, we do stream live on Twitter. You can go to Twitter, go to Drink with Rick, and you can see the stream live right there. Twitch is pretty much almost automatic. There's not much that I have to do on Twitch. I just have to go in and update, the details for that night's stream. That's pretty much all I have to do. Twitch is just pretty much automatic. Just get up there and it just starts streaming like that. Easy peasy. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube, it takes me about a minute and a half because I have to put in the information for the stream for tonight. That's all I have to do. Other than that, really simple. Facebook is a pain. It is. I don't know why they make it so difficult. Before and after the fact, I really don't understand why. I think some of their methods of dealing with the copyright stuff is quite draconian. It really is. I mean, they just cut you off, and then it's all up to you to prove your innocence. Like you're guilty until proven innocent. That's Facebook. And it just kind of goes against the grain. I mean, I don't know. It's just really, and they don't make it easy to stream on. Facebook doesn't. Never have, but it's getting worse. So at some point, I'm still here for you, Ed. I know as you've been for me, and I appreciate it. I'm here for you. I just don't know how long. If Facebook doesn't do something soon to clean up their bots and clean up their act and be a lot more streamer friendly, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing that, because it's a resource killer. I mean, Facebook is just really as far as my time and efforts going on, it's just become just too resource intensive. It's amazing. So anyway, enough of my rant for Facebook. I don't want to talk about that anymore tonight. So I think it's I think our stream's just about done for tonight, isn't it? Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. I hate to cut this off because I'm having a good time. I always have a good time when I'm with you. I really am. And the wine, I'm going to give you a final review of the wine. What's Up says, okay, now here's a suggestion. What's Up says it might be worth it to make posts on Facebook for a few weeks or months explaining where else they can watch and see if your Facebook viewers will migrate if you give them the information and time to move. That is a good thought, and that is definitely worth considering. What's Up? I'm gonna look at that. To make a post on Facebook for a few weeks, months, explaining where else they can watch, and then just. Well, I actually have told the folks, on Facebook before where else they can watch. It's just like Ed. Some people can't go anywhere else, but that's all they got is Facebook. So it's kind of problematic. Now, here's something that was it you that suggested? Somebody suggested this to me a couple of weeks ago. That maybe what I could do, or maybe it was Tommy Antio, what I could do is just stream everywhere else and then just link to it on the Facebook page. And there wouldn't be a live chat going on per se, except where the link was for the posting. I don't know. I'll give that one some thought too. But good suggestion. What's Up? And I will think about that one. That's something to consider. In the meantime, let's go ahead and give a final review of this wine. So I've let it open up a little bit. I'm still getting the black cherry. And and not so much the blackberry anymore, but most of the black cherry. But I am tasting a little. Now I'm tasting a little bit of the tobacco in there. Still sweet, but that sweetness has subsided just a little bit. It's not. It doesn't taste as sweet as it did at the beginning. It's mellowed out more. And as a matter of fact, so has the rest of the wine. This wine, in general, has mellowed out. So the tannins are a lot softer than they were in the beginning. The tannins were a little bit, I said they were kind of like medium tannin. The tannins are a lot softer now. So they're still there, but it's a lot, they're a lot softer. They're not as pronounced. The wine tastes more refined in that sense than it did at the very beginning. And I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with the fact that this had to open, and I think this wine needs to be decanted. I think is what it needs. If I had decanted this wine from the get-go, I would probably be giving the review that I'm giving now at the beginning of the show. What I'm saying now is probably what I've been saying that at the beginning. I think that it really does kind of need to be decanted, but once it's opened up a bit, I think this is actually pretty decent wine. It's still very bold, still heavy complexion, but it has mellowed out a bit, and I think maybe after a few sips of this, maybe so have I. I think so. So I'm not going to give this a hole-in-one per se tonight, but I am going to say that it is, let's see, do I have anything for it? All right. I think that I can give it a little bit of a clap here. All right, let's give it some applause. And why not? Let's give some applause. It's much better now than it was. So I'm liking the wine more than I did in the beginning, but it's not a bad wine. It's not. I wouldn't say it's my favorite wine. If you don't like a really, really bold wine, this is probably not the wine for you. If you like a very bold wine, then I think you will like this one. Now, if you like strictly dry wines and you don't like sweet wines at all, this may not be the wine for you. If you like sweeter wines, something in between, something in the middle, not too dry, not too sweet, something somewhere kind of a median for that, this might be a good wine to try. In fact, I think it would be a good wine to try. I'm giving an honest review because it's an Italian wine, and I kind of gravitate a lot towards Italian wines, but I really like the drier wines, like the Chiantis and this is actually not a bad wine. I would say give it 2 thumbs up, but I give it a thumb up. Okay, I like it. It's okay. It's all right. That's my final review on that. I'll probably give it 3.5 stars out of 5, maybe 4 stars. I'd give it closer to 4 stars. I think that's what Vivino gave it. I'd say 3.8 stars out of 5. How about that? I'll do that. And that's my review. And it actually paired pretty well with everything that was on this plate that my lovely wife, she prepared tonight. It went pretty well with all that. So I'm kind of liking the wine. It's all right. It would not be my first choice to purchase. $12.99 a bottle at Trader Joe's. It would not be my first choice, but it's not bad. So that's what I'll go with. All right, and that's my final review of the wine. All right, so we've got a couple of things that I want to close off with here. First of all, I want to remind everybody that I'm working on another film to show next week, and I might have one to show next week. Actually, I had one to show this week that was kind of, let me see. No, it's not set up. We'll show it next week. It's getting late. But I'm hoping to have it ready to show, one of my Super 8 films. I hope you'll join me for that. Also next week we're going to be switching gears on the wines a little bit, and in a couple of weeks we're going to be reviewing some ciders. And those of you who like ciders will enjoy that, because we're going to review a few ciders in a couple of weeks. So I hope you join me for that one as well. And, of course, if you don't have a copy of the official Drink with Rick wine tasting book, which I almost lost mine, you can pick one up on Amazon, $8.99. And I highly recommend this book because I wrote it. Shameless plug. But I do have a bunch of copies coming in this next week, so hopefully I've been promised they'll be here by next Saturday. So I will have a few more to give away on the show, and we may do another trivia contest. And as a matter of fact, I was kind of hoping that we could do a sci-fi trivia contest. If you're into science fiction or not, you can still join in. We're going to try and do a little sci-fi trivia contest next week, so we can give away a couple of copies. And I hope you'll join me for that one as well. In the meantime, there's one more thing, as Columbo would say, just one more thing. There is one more celebrity I want to bring out. And before I do that, let me give a shout out to everybody here tonight. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Ed, and thank you for being here on the show tonight. Also to Trent, thanks for being here. Hope you're still there. Justice Violet, thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And on Twitch, we had a nice crowd on Twitch tonight. And Omar, thank you for being here. And what's up? And 69 Mets fan. And who else was here tonight with me on? I'm trying to make sure that I've got Gabaguluigi. I'm sorry, it's a tongue twister for me. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and everybody who is watching me on Odyssey, and all those who are watching me on Twitter. And I think I got a couple of notifications here. I didn't really. Okay. But thank you for watching me. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. So we're going to bring out our next, our final celebrity for the night, our only celebrity for the night. I'm not big on celebrities, to be honest. I met a few in my day, but I'm not big on I'm just, I'm not going there right now. But there is one celebrity that we have here that's our local celebrity, and he is none other than Roadkill Bill. The inevitable, maybe this one why I'm talking. Sorry, Bill. You have a very important message. He is the chewed up Roadkill Bill. He's been through heck. Which is why he has this very important message for everybody. Very serious one. I know I make light of this, but it's a serious issue. His message is, do not drink and drive. Yes, and I know I say this every week. And I'm talking to the choir here because I know you're good people. You are all good people, and you're not going to do this. But it's a reminder, it's a kind of a public service announcement to all those out there watching who have not yet become part of the Drink with Rick tribe here. That is a very important message to get out to everyone, and that is, do not drink and drive. Drink from the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling, wherever you are. Just if you're not sure, even if you think you're sure, you may not be sure. Just stay put. If you have to go somewhere, call an Uber, call Lyft, call a cab, call a friend, call somebody who maybe is more an acquaintance of a friend but it's not. Maybe you don't even like that person very much, but you want to. You need a ride home anyway. Still better than getting in your car and driving home yourself. Okay, please. The best thing to do, though, is just stay put. I mean, if you have to go somewhere, just call someone else to do it. Don't try to do it yourself. It's not worth it. Think about others as well as yourself. Put other people first. Yeah, and remember, today is what is it? No, it is today actually. It's 12:01. It's what's today again that we were toasting? Oh yes, National Joy Germ Day. Spread the joy around. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive either, because that's also very dangerous. Because I want you to have a great week. I really do. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. That is paramount to me. I want you to be safe. So you can all join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Winestream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.